Hi everyone, welcome back to JPWHU TV live on Facebook and YouTube for episode 3 of Daily Live Chat with John. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're doing well as I always do. So guys, hopefully there's going to be some people watching at the minute because there's currently nothing coming through. We've got quite a lot to talk about, to be honest with you. We've got quite a lot to talk about tonight, so hopefully someone's going to be joining. Everybody knows it's here. Foshizi, hi, hello, mate. Good to see you. So basically, just to start the kickoff of this, because Fo's currently the only one in the live chat. As you guys know, it's Tuesday. It's grey and miserable. The sun's gone. It's literally almost 2/3 of the temperature that it was yesterday, which is a real shame. But it's April. Sophian's back. Hello, mate. Good to see you. And Nick made it. Hello, geezer. Hope you're doing well. So right, as you guys know from yesterday, I was also says evening. Yeah. As you guys know, yesterday I asked you guys to start off telling me what music you were listening to help with this isolation. Today, I want to know what movies you've been watching. So let me know what you've been watching from that side of things, as I have a quick read of a message a mate of mine's just sent through. Yeah, guys, a mate of mine who has no clue about football has said, "Hello, Steph. Good to see him. Good to see him. Hope you're doing all right." So, guys, as I said, let me know. Oh, it's okay. So Steph, let me know what you've been watching, what movies you've been watching to get yourself through this mentalness. Foshizi says Extraction on Netflix. Sofiane says Goal, Living the Dream. Great film. That is really good film. Cracking soundtrack as well, for that matter. It's one of my favorite ones out of recent history for soundtracks. Superb, absolutely brilliant. You've got some really good. You got some Uncle versions of. There's a couple of Oasis versions, Oasis songs remixed by Uncle. Champagne Supernova and Cast No Shadow, if I remember correctly. Very good versions of it. SW6 Fan TV, the Chelsea fan channel. Hello, mate. Long time no see. Hope you're all right. Joe Sirius, this nice haircut looks slimming. It bloody doesn't, mate. I mean, thanks, but it doesn't, because I've had to move the camera in because you can see my pot belly with his training top. Sophie says 8 Mile, another cracking film. SW6 says, how am I finding the lockdown? Difficult to cope, mate, to be honest with you. Difficult to cope, but doing it just about. All right, so we've got some stuff to talk about today, as always. But as always, guys, I want you to ask me questions. But first and foremost, rumors coming out, and I say they're rumors. I don't know if there are any justification behind this, but if this is true, Galatasaray are looking to bring in a Yeti next season on loan. Let me know your thoughts on this, guys. For me personally, I'll be disappointed to a degree, because I think a Yeti is quite a good player. I mean, he hasn't been having a lot of time to prove himself, but you have seen glimpses of it. And I mean glimpses, but he needs a bit of run out myself. Sofian said he's also watched Iron Man. It's a great movie. Sofian, we'll come on to that in a minute. We'll come on to what you're saying about there. We will talk about that. That's in the list, but we won't talk about it just yet. But let me know what your thoughts are on a Yeti. Now, personally, I think we need to get rid of. We need to put him out on loan and see how he does, because he's not going to get anywhere with West Ham, unfortunately. Sofian says Yeti is a pub player. Let's be honest, lads. Yeah. Darren says evening, morning, all. Hope you're all fine and dandy. But yeah, anyone else got any thoughts on a Yeti before we move on? Because it's only Sofian who has said anything so far. SW6 Chelsea fan. Any thoughts? This is interactive, remember. No. Sofiane still talking. Said Yeti is the Swiss BTEC version of Chicharito, who we shouldn't have sold. Agreed. We would have played. He would have played well. So no one sees a Yeti. I think he's trying to be clever, but hasn't really worked out there, mate. Joseph could be a mean player if he's out. Could mean a player if he's out. Even if he's out, I think you mean there, mate. I'm hoping. Darren says hadn't seen enough of him. That's what I'm saying. We've only seen glimpses. Another signing that didn't pay off for us. Agreed. And Sofiane agreed. We didn't use Chicharito right. I said that many times. We shouldn't have given him that gentleman's agreement because I reckon he would have been brilliant with the layer this season. I really would have. Talking of which, talking about this season, very interesting things coming out at the moment. Mick Smith, hello mate. Says championship at best. Fair dues. Darren says he's watching Shooter on Netflix. Len says I would like to see him given a chance to prove himself. Agreed, mate. I've said that many times. Sofiane says, so what? We know he's awful. Well, we don't know, mate, because we haven't seen enough of him yet. We can't just automatically judge somebody on a few minutes here and there. Okay, so let's just jump on to the next subject. Where are we? There's one. I'm hoping that Charlie's going to come in tonight because there's one thing I want to talk to him directly about. But okay, so just jumping on to what Sofiane. Where are we? Sofiane says Rice should be going nowhere. Other fans don't appreciate him. Well, this is the thing, mate. As much as I agree with you 100%, there's a kind of this stuff coming out now that Jamie Carragher has said on Sky Sports that he says that he's not appreciated as much as he should be, and I have to agree with him. I don't agree with him all that often, but I absolutely have to agree with him. Hello, Bex. Hope you're keeping all right. Sophie says we are going to sell Rice. Let's be honest. We have a soft board who would sell for a little bit of cash they won't spend. What fools? To be honest with you, mate. Yes and no. They are still asking for 70 to 80 million pound for Rice. I think it's a hands-off price tag as we talked about yesterday with Torres going to Liverpool, going to Chelsea from Liverpool, I should say. Sofiane said I watched Carragher this morning. Yes, I agree with him. Yeah, he made some very good points, made some very valid points. And now you watch when people that aren't West Ham supporters turn and say, yes, you know he's a good player because Carragher says he is. Like, you watch. This is the way it works. West Ham fan said, good evening, mate. Who would you sell this summer? I'm glad you asked that because that comes on to the second part of the question. But before that, it's funny how we could sell to Spurs, but Levy would never sell to us. Agreed, mate. Well, he did. Oh, no, he didn't actually. No, that's before Levy's time. Anyway, so next one. So that was going to be. So what the West Ham fans asked is what I was going to ask you guys. Who would you sell this summer? For me, Fredericks, saving $2 million a year on wages. For one, we got Ngakia and possibly Ben Johnson to fill in for the right back position. I would also sell Masuaku. I would sell Yarmolenko. I know a lot of people. I know it's a bit controversial between some sections of the fans, but I would sell Yarmolenko. I think we can get a good, decent price for him for someone we've hardly seen. I would sell Wilshere for exactly the same reason. I would sell Anderson, as we talked about last night, and I would sell Balbuena. So let me know, guys, who you guys would sell. Beck says in the current climate, we won't get for Rice what we deserve if they did actually try and sell him. Now I know Bex, that's a very good point. I know he's linked to a lot of clubs, but just because he's linked to a lot of clubs doesn't mean there's any substance in it in any shape or form. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Sofiane says we've sold Scott Parker for fuck's sake. Well, that's slightly different, mate. Parker asked for that move because his dying dad wanted to see him play for Spurs before he died. Slightly different. Sofiane says Yeti, Fredericks, Gold, Sullivan, Brady, Anderson, Lanzini. Yep, Lanzini. Yarmolenko, release Wilshere and keep Masuaku as a left wing. I don't think he's good enough, mate. I agree with most of that, but Masuaku, he just can't think properly in football terms. He said it many times before. He said his concentration. He needs to work on his concentration. We've all said that. We've all noted that as well. And yeah, Wilshere. Well, you're well. Yeah. So guys, that's the thing. Also, there's now, as we know, that Sanchez is leaving this season because it's the end of his 2-year contract. And also, obviously, Zabaleta is leaving as well. So that's going to free up about $6 million on the wage bill, just over a year, which is not too bad. Bex, if Charlie's coming in, because I need to talk to him. I've got a very, very interesting subject I want to talk to him about. So if you can you ask him to come on if he's free. Or Charlie, if you're watching the replay, put your comments in the comment section below if I don't get the chance to talk to you. Random question. The comedian Tiffany Stevenson put a tweet out earlier this afternoon. Nothing to do with West Ham in any shape or form. Just a really funny question. I thought I'd get your guys. I want to get your answers on this. I think it's brilliant. It said, are nectarines just peaches that got body shamed, even, I should say. So are nectarines just peaches that got body shamed into shaving? Let me know what you think. Foshizi says, I'll sell Lanzini, Masuaku, Fredericks, Yarmolenko, and a Yeti. Bex says, I don't know, but you can often sell him with recall #Big George, or just say his name 3 times because he appears like Beetlejuice like he did yesterday. Len3 says, I think it depends on how much we'll be able to spend in this market on who we should sell. Yeah, not talking about the budget though, mate, but that's a fair point. Most female comedians aren't funny. That's my opinion. Charlie. Love it. If he doesn't come on, then but apparently there was rumors, because obviously Chelsea are apparently looking at him. There are rumors, and I say rumors, that Chelsea are looking to do a swap deal for Rice, and we get Jorginho. Chelsea TV, if you're still here, would you take that? If you're still here, or guys, would you? However the bloody hell you pronounce it. So let me know, guys. Let me know your thoughts on that. But while you're thinking about that, there's a very good chance it appears that David Martin's contract is going to be bought off now that we brought in Randolph in the summer. Do you think that's a good idea? But also, we seem to be stuck with Roberto because he hasn't played a single match on loan at Alvarez before the lockdown. Before the pandemic hit, I should say, and all the seasons were suspended. West Ham fan says we need younger and hungry players, and then that will make full of more potential. But guys, you ain't asking the question. Okay, so let's say, guys, would you swap Rice for Jorginho, or however bloody hell you pronounce it? And what do you think about David Martin's contract being pretty much paid off? Okay, so David Lee, good to see you, mate. D Lee says Carragher would love Rice at Liverpool, ideal replacement eventually for Henderson. Yeah, I see you thinking behind it, mate. David Martin isn't great, let's be honest. He's a son of a West Ham man, but if we want to be elite, we have to be ruthless. Yeah. Beck says no, wouldn't swap Rice, and I'm guessing the same. That's the same what Sofiane is saying as well. That's absolutely fine. That's good. Okay, so also it was interesting to read that Alex Iwobi and Chukwuemeka Akpom were both on trial at West Ham before they signed their professional contracts with Arsenal. That was an interesting read earlier today. Whoa, Where are we? Darren says, keep Martin, sell Randolph. I'm reckon that's a bit more of a romantic attitude to it there. The West Ham says, who would you want to go to? Who would want to go to scummy Liverpool full of dirty scousers? Beck says, keep Martin, get rid of Randolph, in my opinion. Procedure says, no, keep Rice in the current market. Sofian says, have you ever kept a fast? A fast what? Or have I ever gone on a diet? Are you talking about that sort of fast? I don't speak street, mate. Come on. As you probably noticed. Okay. So, UEFA gave all association members a month to respond to when they plan to resume their respective leagues. France have said that there isn't going to be any football until September. So they've basically cancelled the Ligue 1 and Ligue 2. So let me know what you think on that, guys, as well, for that matter. But Beck says, but we need to be looking for a new keeper next season, possibly at least put the feelers out. Good point. Good point. D. Lee says, we've stolen loads of good youth. We cannot complain about Arsenal. I wouldn't say stolen exactly. I wouldn't say I was complaining either. But the reason why I bring it up, D. Lee, is because I really quite liked Alexia Iwobi. I really quite liked him. Now, if I'd have known that he was on trial with us, that's a bit disappointing, because I think the kid's got a lot of potential. Hasn't fully realised his potential yet, but I think he does. I think, yeah, he has. Sofian says, fast, no food or drink for the day. It's not street. Well, yeah, well, that's because it's the term, innit? Break your fast, breakfast. That's where it comes from. So fast. Yeah. Have you ever fasted? Is what you meant to say. But no, I've never fasted. Mick Smith says that's a government call. Agreed. It has to be. Dealey says Jermaine Defoe. Well, he was actually with because he wasn't he was training. He was on trial at I never said we didn't, but I say he was on trial at where was it? Was it Leighton? Was it Charlton? It was one of the two. Beck says UEFA are ridiculous. They're threatening because of money. That's all agreed. How can football go back to normal when the world isn't back to normal yet? That's the point. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, with Charlton, mate. Yeah, I thought it was one of the two. Waver's breaking it down, saying UEFA are ridiculous. How can football go back to normal when the world isn't back to normal yet? Yeah, agreed. But that's the thing; they're asking for plans. They're not asking us to do or die. But at the same point, it's all about money. That's all it is. It's all about money. You're absolutely right, but that's all football is now. I was watching a very interesting conversation on the with the what was it, the True Geordie, the kickoff channel he's got, and they were talking about the Newcastle takeover, and the bloke there who's on there quite regularly, who's an Arsenal fan, if I remember correctly, said football as we know it has been dead for 20 years, and he's absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. When we knocked Defoe off Charlton, he went to a tribunal. That's the point. Actually, yes, you're right. I forgot about that. You're absolutely right. Beck says, yep, it's all about money. It's definitely a bit threatening, though, John. They're forcing hands. Well, when have UEFA and FIFA never done that? That's the thing. When have they never? They've always been like that. They've always been totalitarian because they need results, and that's the problem. Sofian says, people saying they want football voted Brexit and support their local. People saying they want football voted Brexit. Mate, you really got to sort your typing out. Joey Serious says, if Norwich go down, we should go for Pookie and Cantwell. Both are hopefully doable on our budget. Ryan on Fraser on a 3-2. I can. Yeah, I can. I can see the thinking there behind it. Yeah. Bex agrees with you. Love Fraser, but the rumors he's going nowhere. Of course, he's one of their best players, and likewise, and she would also like Pukki. Pukki's very, very good player. Sofian says Hugh Wizzy goes on True Geordie is an Arsenal fan. You talk about him. He's the one with the throat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is him. I couldn't remember his name, but yeah, he was absolutely spot on. Made some very, very good points in that debate. Very good points. Sofian says Mustafi Masuaku. Well, mate, you know what the answer is going to be because I said I'd sell Masuaku, so it just means Mustafi then, doesn't it? Simple as. And Joe says that's providing we stay up too. Now, as I say, because the French league top 2 tiers have been cancelled for the season, I've got a funny feeling it's coming for Britain. I really, really got a funny feeling it's coming. Sofian being controversial, Pukki is overrated, had a good start but flopped. Yeah, but he still gets assists. He still makes things happen, mate. That's the point. Len3 says I like that Campbell suggestion. Is there any news on if we're still interested in Matty Cash, not Marty Cash? Len, that was only in January. That was literally just in January. There's not because nobody knows what's going on yet, so they've got no way to prepare. So which we were talking about yesterday, and I've mentioned on numerous times beforehand. Over the last 5 to 6 weeks, they're still putting ideas out. But as I say, that was a bid that was put in January, and that was way, way before we got Bowen at the last knock-ins. So I'll be. But Matty Cash would be lovely, says Becky. Not sure he'd come to the Stowe. Don't think we'd need him anymore. Now we've got Bowen in there, but yeah, I know he can play right back. But I don't like having natural midfielders as right backs. Joey O'Brien, Michael Antonio, for example, just to name it. Cantwell is a B-Tech Griezmann. Sophie, everyone's a B-Tech to you. Foshizi says, I'd like Fraser. His contract expires at the end of the season. We should also target Aaron and Lewis from Norwich. Yes, I totally, mate. 100%. 100%. Yes, I would love to see that if we are going to be doing it whenever the transfer window starts. Sofian says West Ham love the bargain bucket of transfers. Yep, great. Gary, hello. How much money will they lose if the season tickets are based on half a season, or could they do away with season tickets for next season? Mate, West Ham don't need our money for season tickets. Or tickets in general for that matter. It's irrelevant. Their income, as I said the other day, I think it was Sunday if I remember right. Their income in the Premier League, out of the 20 teams in the Premier League, there are 16 or 17 teams that are financially viable enough not to rely on match day revenue. So it's a bit of a shame, Gary, but good to see you, mate. Hope you long time no see. Beck says there's also talk of 3 transfer windows. It's all rumours, obviously, but that would affect money, how money is spent in each window. I've not heard those 3 transfer windows, but yeah, it's all people trying to make up stories to keep themselves in their occupation. Sofian says Trent Alexander-Arnold is a natural centre mid. By the way, agreed, mate, but he doesn't play for West Ham. But it all depends if Norwich go down. I thought you might pop up with that, mate. Sofian says #GSB out. Don't renew your season tickets. The whole season ticket thing is an absolute mess. They'll use it as an excuse for a lack of spend. Yeah. Well, as I say, those that have been keeping a very close eye on their accounts over the last 3 years, which is what I've been doing. Yeah, no. Yeah, you're right, Bex. They will try it, but yeah, I can't see it doing it. I really, really can't. But guys, you didn't answer the question. Are nectarines just peaches that got body shaved into shaving? Give me your thoughts. The West Ham fans say Alfredo Morelos would be a good striker. Yeah, agreed. Sofian says Madame Brady loves a good excuse. No, they aren't. Okay. So come on, guys. There's 15 people in the group in watching at the minute, and only 6 people are talking on a regular basis. So for the rest 9 of you that aren't, let's hear from you. Now, ask me any questions, as I said, because it doesn't have to be just about football. It can be about absolutely anything. Absolutely anything. There's now 16 people, so that new person that's joined, enter into the chat. Ask me any question you want, as long as it's decent. Foshizi says nectarines are the real deal, smooth on the outside, soft in the inside. Bex asks, do you think we need another striker? I don't really think we do. I've been saying all season, hun, we need 2. We need 2 new strikers. Reason being is because I don't like seeing players being played out of position. I know that we've got players that can cope with it, but if Allaire gets injured, we're properly knackered for a goal scorer. Absolutely properly knackered for a goal scorer. Even when in the side when Allaire was dropped, don't get me wrong, I love having the idea of Bowen as a second striker. I love the idea of Antonio doing the same thing, but I want an out goal scorer, and we don't have that other than Allaire. And I know Allaire's not, but it's Allaire's first season, so we honestly need 2. We honestly need 2. Nick Squire Thompson asks Bogle or Max Aarons. I'd say Max Aarons for me. Because yep, hashtag recall Big George. West Ham fan, do you know who Barry Johnson is? He wants to buy us. Search it up. I don't, mate. I'll have a look at that. In fact, I will have a look now. See what it says. Who is Barry Johnson? About that, because it just comes up with a rugby player. I doubt that's him. I don't think a rugby player would want to buy a football club. Barry Hearn, Roger Johnson, Glenn Johnson, Barry West Ham Law, Ben Johnson. Nope. It's nothing coming up with him being linked to West Ham at all, mate. So let me know where you heard that, mate, because nothing comes up. Nick Swire says, how long would you keep Moyes for if let him go soon? Who would your ideal best replacement be? Nick, we did talk about this yesterday, but I know you weren't able to watch it. I would keep Moyes on. I really, really do, because I can't think of a better manager that's available that would want to come to the club. There are loads of better managers out there, of course, but you got to think about who would actually want to work under David Sullivan. There's not many. There's not many. Nick White Thompson, would you take Newcastle's potential owners? No, I wouldn't. Reason being is because the hype isn't as big as everyone thinks it's going to be. The rules have changed dramatically since Man City got taken over. Don't get me wrong, Nick. I want new owners in there. But it just doesn't feel right. And plus, as I said, I work as I said to AJ, the company that I work for, they owe us debt. Not to the obviously extent that they owe for Newcastle, but the fact that they haggled over £50 million when the bulk of their assets are worth £320 billion. Doesn't feel right for me. Surely we need to focus on new left back. Exactly. Bex, yes. Again, I've been saying that for a long, long time. Cresswell's not got much longer left in him. Mick, really? Come on. Buy mash all day long. Bloody popcorn. Let's buy extra locks for the front door and leave the back door wide open. I agree, Becky. Both, but for me, both right back and left back. It's not a bad shout, though. Not a bad shout in any shape or form. Popcorn tastes like cardboard. Debate depends what popcorn you have. I've never eaten cardboard, so I can't say. Nick asked thoughts on Sunderland Till I Die. Very, very good TV series. That very, very good. I loved how it was done. I think it was probably a little bit unbalanced, thinking about things in terms of the fact they were trying to, it was a bit of a PR bit. But yeah, it was a good TV, so it was definitely worth watching. I watched them all back to back over the space of about 2 or 3 days. And no, they were very, very, very good. Very, very good. I don't normally binge watch programs, but that was very good. Bex agrees with you. We need we need a right back too. Nick asks, should Mark Noble get a statue? 100%. 100%. Sophian says, Sunderland Till I Die is us in 3 years with his owners, GSB out. Do you know what, mate? The funny thing is, I know what you mean, but I don't agree with you at the same point. Reason being is because in 3 years, I don't think that's the two Davids or their puppet master, for that matter, is going to be there. I don't think they will. I really don't think they will. Len, so do you like that the kits change every season, or would you rather kept them the same for a few seasons at a time? Good question there, Len. Very, very good question. Yeah, man, keep them for 2 or 3 seasons, mate. It's a money making business. That's all it is. It's a money making business. You look back to the early 1900s. Up until the mid 80s, you'd have a shirt once every 2 or 3 years, much less seasons. So yeah, very good question, very good point, mate. Mick Smith, was it Nathan's or Ken's calf? What do you mean? Was it what? In what context? I mean, you're saying would I choose out on Nathan's and Ken's calves? Nathan's 100%. I love Ken's calf. It's a very good place, but it was Nathan's for me. Mark Noble should get a statue. He should get 25 statues. One for every little corner of the West Ham fan. Barry Johnson is fake, just like our owners and our owners fake and liars. Okay. Right, so do you mean that the rumours are fake? Because you haven't said where you've got anything from that at all. Beck says, I'm interested to see the 125th kit. There's been 0 leaks. Well, as far as I've seen, agree, because there's no point. We don't know if we're getting a season next year. At this point, we don't know. This is probably why the leaks haven't gone round. But you're right. Normally somebody's making up their own things at the minute. But Barry Johnson over Roger Johnson, the relegator. Nathan's Pie Mash for me back in the day. To Darren, yeah, I really do miss that place. I used to go there with my uncle when I was young. A few years ago. Well, obviously a few years ago now. That was good fun going into that place. Just nice people. It's a shame. It's a real shame. But unfortunately, that's the price of progress. And that's the only time you'll ever hear anything capitalist come out of my mouth. It's the only time. Nick says, unpopular opinion, Anderson needs to stay and should do a rotation similar to Masuaku and Krez with Diangana. Nick, for what reason do you want him to stay? I think I know why, but just clarify that, mate, will you? Because I'm sure that's going to get a bit of hatred if you don't clarify what you're talking about. So if it says Bex, just wait, ex-West Ham employee is gonna be like a kid at Christmas. He's only released the kit, mentioned what the kit's going to be the day before it comes out. So when he starts talking about it, that's when we know stuff's going to come up. Sophie says, I miss going to the sweet stand with my dad as a kid. I don't see no progress. I see money. Yeah, that's it, mate. That's what the capitalists say. That's the price of progress. Big Borry 1970. Hello, mate. Nice to see you. What do you think of Mize? As I said, I think he did all right for his first time round. I think he's good to make some form of stability. How long that's going to last is another matter. But I can't, as I said, I can't see any decent manager coming in anytime soon under the Davids. I really can't. I really can't. Mick says apparently the new seats are ready to be installed. Waiting for a time to do it. Yes, we talked about it yesterday. I'm looking forward to seeing if they actually do it. I'm sure once the lockdown is released, that I'm sure they will. But it won't be. But there's a difference between lockdown and us returning to normal. This lockdown being released and us returning to normal. There are two totally different things. Totally different things. Lockdown just means that we can start going back to work, but that's only, for example, if you're not getting in on public transport, kind of that sort of thing. It's going to be a long time. As the government said the chief medical advisor said last week, we are going to be social distancing for a long time, basically until a vaccine is found, made, done, and distributed, and everybody's got it. That, of course. Sofian says money is the only thing that matters to these people, not family, not memories, not emotions. They are robots. Agreed, mate. Capitalists. That's what happens in the capitalist society. Nick's wife says I feel he has a lot of potential, and I feel Moyes and Nolan will make him work harder, and he can even come in at attacking mid as weak as well as on the wing. Nick, see your point. That's why I thought you were going with it. He does work well as in the mid. His work rate is better out on the right than it is on the left, and I don't understand why no one else sees it. But yeah, he's still sell for me. But I know what you mean. Then says if you don't like everything about being money, stay away from American football. God, yeah. Oh, mate, it's not that long. It's not that long before the Premier League turns into that. Honestly, it's not that long. My uncle, who lives over in LA, said 10 years ago that it's getting close to it, and he's absolutely right. Thoughts on recalling Grady for next season? Beck's 100%. I'd take him now if we could. I'd bring him straight back now, which we probably will be doing at some point. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Bowen, Grady, or Grady Bowen, with like Noble and Lanzini. It's gonna be mouth watering. I reckon it really is gonna be mouth watering once Grady gets himself sorted out. And Sofian says Grady over gravy. Henry Richards, hello mate. Anderson is shit. That's your opinion. I can't disagree with you. Froshi says 100% Grady needs a squad role next season. He needs a team role next season, mate, not the squad. He needs a team role next season, as far as I'm concerned. Beck says, Grady is a talent. Sofian, opinion, Roberto. Vacant player. Darren says, kits are being made the day they are released in China for £12 a top. Yep. Yes. Might be a little bit cheaper for that now, mate. The way things are going. Foshizi says, I love the NFL. Fo, it is good fun to watch, but break every 15 minutes and all that. It does my head in. Opinion. Robert Snodgrass is underrated. Yeah, I like him. I think it's a very good player. He's looked like he might be staying on for at least another couple of years from what I'm reading at the moment. But yeah, Darren says get Grady back ASAP. Yeah. Beck says Snoddy isn't underrated, but you need to focus on how hard he actually works. That's the thing. People don't notice it. That's where he's coming from. I don't think he should be started, but he is a fantastic, consistent sub. Very, very good at corners. Very, very good at bossing people about as well, for that matter. And yeah, work rate is absolutely superb. But because he's not doing the flashy stuff, which is why Declan Rice is getting the same sort of grief from non West Ham fans. Because he's not flashy all the time, that people don't think he's good. And likewise with Snodgrass, if you actually sit down and watch Snodgrass for an entire game, it blows me away. It really does. as our top set piece taker. Yep, agreed. Foshizi says Roberto is world class. Kent Hammers, hello mate. Arthur, Fabian, Wilshire, Roberto, Anderson, Lanzini can all go. I'm guessing he's back a few minutes, but good to see world class at being a clown. Snoddy, this has a place in our team, 100%. Sophie says, do an American accent? No. Len says, I've stopped watching the NFL after I found the Premier League. Foshi says, I like Snodgrass as a professional, but he's too slow. Sophie says, Snoddy can whip the ball so nice. Agreed. He does some. Nick Quire said, tough one here. Hammers, chat, or West Ham fan TV. You don't have to answer. I can't, mate. I love them equally. They're all really, really good guys. They are really, really, really good guys. I really hope that once this lockdown's the world starts getting back to normal, that Nicky finds a job as quickly as possible. And I hope that if he's watching either now or the replay, I'm hoping he's enjoying the webcam I gave him. Was it 3 months ago now? I think it is. Jesus, 3 months ago. Sofian says, people who say Snodgrass is poor don't watch football and watch the highlights of match of the day. Very, very good point there, mate. Very good point. How many more seasons would you give Nobes? As long as he can. I mean, I reckon he's probably got two seasons left, but yeah. And Grady was needed this season with his pace. Agreed, Henry. 100%. Yep. Darren says Snoddy is solid. Yep. Beck says agree, Fo. He doesn't have the speed, but I think he more than makes up for it. Yeah, he does. I'm saying his work rate is just unbelievable. Snodgrass is if Matt Jarvis and Stuart Downing had a baby. God. That's a terrible thought, that is. That's why he shouldn't be started. He's an inter sub, in your opinion. Yep, that's fine. Not fine, Bex. Big boy Barry, 1970. Do you think Rice is worth 70 million? I think he's worth a lot more than that. A lot more than that. Really, really do. Sofian says, make way for Snoddy. No, I think Rice is, for us, Rice is invaluable. He really, really is invaluable as far as I'm concerned. It's as simple as that. I don't think we can actually put he's worth more. He's worth more to the club and worth more to the fans and more to the actual squad than any price tag we can possibly put on him. That's my opinion. I really, really think he is. You know, it's just I love the boy, but as I say, there's big boy Barry agrees with me. Nick says top 5 best talents whom West Ham have a chance in signing. I don't know who we were going for, mate, so I can't really say. Good point, Sofian. Rice is priceless, like the girl you like. Yeah, agreed, mate. Definitely. Top 5 best talents who West Ham have a chance in signing. I don't know who were because we're not talking to any agents as far as I understand. I've been keeping an eye on it as much as I can, but obviously there's nothing at the minute. But so I think maybe. All right, let's do a Gonzo section for a second where everything hypothetical is literal. Okay, Matty Cash, I think would do well with us. Morales, I think would be a very, very good player alongside Allaire. Who else have we've been linked with? It was either the players from Norwich we talked about, especially their right back. 100%. Can't really think of the other two at the minute. I don't think there's where else we. Yeah, that's all I can think of. Len says, how much do you guys have to pay for a service to watch the non-televised games? Over here, I pay $40 and get every game that's not televised for the whole season. Well, Len, I use a very, very good streaming service from a geezer I found on Twitter. Very, very good. I pay for my service, I pay 20 quid, which is about half of what it's just over half of what you're paying. It's 20 quid's about $25, $26. Very, very good. But yeah, the whole nation, sorry, the entire world can watch a game not on telly if you don't have a streaming service. Whereas we have to. It's stupid. It's stupid. But that's the way things are. Big Boy Barry 1970. Do you play FIFA? Nope. Don't have any games consoles here. Sofian Aftab, Pele or Messi? Ooh, you little sod. Morelos, sorry, yeah. Well, it depends on your pronunciation of it. Depends on your pronunciation of it. Cash Ease Watkins. Not really sure who or what those that refers to, but all right. But it's got to be Pele for me. I love Messi. I think he's brilliant, but it's just Pele just tips it for me. James Swift, hello, John, mate. Hello, I'm keeping well. I hope you are keeping well as well, mate. Just joined the live, so I was wondering what your thoughts are on what should happen to the league. I still maintain that we should not void it, but cancel it. Take the league's been played for three quarters of the season now. Just leave it as it is. Leave it as it is. Ben White, also, yep. Fo says Pele. Fo says World Cups, if you like. Len 3, yeah, the NFL would cost me about 100 or more a month. That's ridiculous, mate. That is poor. But yeah, that's the way things go, unfortunately. Ooh, tricky one here, Nick. Well done. Very well done. Ginger Pele or James Tompkins? I can't even answer it as people because they're both just as cool as each other. I've heard Pele more than I've heard Tom's. Because obviously since Collins retired, he's done more media presence and stuff. But Collins is I'd say Collins just because I've had a chance to talk to him a couple of times. Both times at the West Ham Way event that he did, and he's a smashing geezer, really, really cool bloke. So I'd have to say from that on, but on ability, it's still Collins anyway. Allaire or Henry? Allaire, in Sofian's opinion, I don't know, mate. I haven't seen enough of Allaire yet. As it stands at the minute, Henry, but we need comparable periods of time. Fos Cotti. Yep. James says completely agrees with me. I'm guessing he's still talking about the league. Sofian says Ginger Pele. Yep. Big Boy Barry says also Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins and is a good talent. Ollie Watkins, yes. I wouldn't say no. Big up the gingers out there. Tompkins for Tim. Right, Becky. Tompkins, always. Henry says make next season 22 teams. Any particular reason apart from the fact that's what people are talking about? And what's your personal opinion? Jeff, no, because I'm doing a broadcast at 8 o'clock, mate. I won't be able to talk to you. I'll give you a call after that, mate. All right. But good to see you on, mate. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's asked if you can give me a bell, but not yet. I say I'm probably round about 8:45. I'll let you know, mate. Because I'm talking to Wally, the Wally World from American Hammers. He's a Patreon for the channel as a squad player. So as part of it, his side of things is that he does a welcome Q&A. So if anyone wants to be a Patreon, go check it out in the links in the description below to support the channel. Three tiers. And the broadcast, the interview with Wally will be live on Patreon from 8 o'clock tonight. And then it will be up on YouTube on on Wednesday night. James asks, would you take Arnie back? If so, how much will we pay? I wouldn't. He's too disruptive. As good as the talent as he is, we need people in the dressing room that actually want to be there, not trying not to disrupt everything as much as possible. The stories we heard about him, honestly. And Foshizi says Arnie equals Snake. Yep. Bex says part of me would take Arnie back, but he genuinely would believe he's bigger than the club and it wouldn't work. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. And Sofian says Marko Snakovic. Foshizi, I would take Payet back any day. Mate, there was massive tax dodge by Marseille for one. I don't care about the whole family situation and stuff. It was a massive tax dodge. It really, really was. Sofian says, I want Payet back. Sexy French beauty. Oh my God, I love him. Never knew you were gay. It's fair enough. Nick Swire. Thompson, remember those days when we were linked with Grealish? Mate, we were always linked with Grealish. Up until about 2 weeks ago, we were linked with Grealish. Rebecca says, look, listen, I take Payet. Man, it's pure talent, agreed, but he is the reason I don't get close to players anymore. I'll ask you about that afterwards, hon. Len says, I just started watching the sport a few seasons back and was instantly drawn to West Ham. Are there any books or documentaries you could recommend to learn the history of the club? Yes, mate, there are loads. Absolutely loads. Go on to, if you aren't already, watch and subscribe to the American Hammers, because Lee interviewed, I can't remember the geezer's name now, but he interviewed a guy that wrote loads of books. Mate, I'm guarantee if you have a look on things like Amazon and whatnot, there'll be loads of, just search West Ham books, there's loads in there. Absolutely loads. I don't know what it's going to be like for US side, of course, but yeah. Who do you hate more, Tottenham or Chelsea? It's got to be Spurs. It's got to be Spurs. Chelsea are annoying, but Spurs are just that a little bit more for me. They really are. Wally World is the king of Prussia. Certainly is. Certainly is. Wally, and cheers, Jeff. Sovereign says, give me Payet. James Swiss, favourite West Ham chant aside from Bubbles? Well, it's not really a chant, it's a song. Nothing that springs to mind, mate. I love them all equally, to be honest with you. I really, really do. Sophia says, remember Carlos Bacca? Who? But yeah, James, it's difficult. I think my favourite song that we sing is probably the song for Christian Daly. Cracks me up. Really does crack me up. Foshes, I feel your pain regarding Payet. Sofian says, tot scum. Beck says, Greeley has United written all over him if Villa go down. Agreed. And Nick asks, Anderson or Figuli? Figuli 100%. I think he's a player we should have kept hold of. I really, really do. He's got a lot more in his locker. It just didn't work out for him, unfortunately. Wrong usage. Big Boy Barry says, definitely Spurs. If it is not Spurs, you're not a West Ham fan like Tottenham. Piss off me so much. I'm not a West Ham fan like Tottenham. Piss me off so much. Okay. Sofiane Faguli. Yep. Beck says, which if we do the sporting merit thing, Villa would go down. Yeah, the points per game thing. I think you're referring to it, Bex. Yeah, that was interesting. James says, mine's got to be Martins and goal. Yeah, that was quite good fun. Yeah, but we've only sung it once, unfortunately. But that was that. So I can't say I loved it. Foshi says, yeah, almost agrees with me. Anderson, that's a close one for Nick. Right, last question before we wrap up, because we're almost on an hour now. 54 minutes. So, Ryan, hello, mate. Who's a better manager for us, Pellegrini or Moyes? Depends on your point of view, mate. As we pretty much talked about last night. Pellegrini had slightly more win ratios than Moyes, but I think Moyes is the better long-term prospect because Moyes is just going to bend over backwards for Sullivan, whereas Pellegrini won't. Big Boy Barry says 3 top top three most liked in the Premier League. Teams or players, mate, just to be clear. But while we do that, so Charlie, if you're watching the replay, I want to know your comments on this, mate, because apparently the West Ham board are hoping that Big George is going to be signed by QPR, so we can get a bit more money for it. So, guys, do you think that's a good idea? That the club is waiting for is hoping that QPR are going to sell Big Jordan Hugill? Let me know your thoughts on that. Okay, so Big Boys Barry says teams. Okay, so my top three in the Premier League teams that I really admire is Burnley, Newcastle, and Norwich. Actually, I quite like Norwich. I think they've been very unlucky recently. James says, "See you later, John. Safe you too, mate. When will you next be live stream? I'll make sure to tune in. Tomorrow night I'll be at 7:00 tomorrow night. But on average, most of these broadcasts are going to be doing at 6:30. I'm doing a broadcast on Rick Cogger's Facebook tomorrow night. Hopefully, all things considered. So if that does go ahead, then it'll be 7:00. If that doesn't, then it'll be 6:30 as normal." We call Big George long-term Moyes, I think, but that's not great. I know, Bex, but that's the thing. That is the point. So, guy, Big Barry, see you, mate. Have a good one. Cheers for putting in, guys. But yeah. So, Fo says, in answer to Barry's question, Newcastle, Norwich, and who's your third, mate? Who's your third? But that's it, guys, pretty much, other than waiting for Fo to give his answer on that. Unless you've got any other questions, then we will bid adieu once Fo gives his other answer. Unless is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Let me know. Darren's catching up by the looks of it. A great book, An Irrational Hatred of Everything. Fo, I agree with you 100%, mate. Fulham, but they're not in the Premier League. But yes, they are. But yes, Fulham are my number 3rd club alongside Sunderland, but neither team are in the Premier League at the minute. Beck says, I actually think seriously that we should keep Hugill. Can't be worse than a Yeti we've not seen. Fair point. But yeah, he says, they're not in the EPL. Okay, but yeah. But yeah, Len, this is what Darren's talking about. A great book and an irrational hatred of everything. Very good. And Man United fans don't want Rice. Yeah. I'm sure, Henry. I'm absolutely sure that's pretty much spot on. Who are you going to support in the Bundesliga? I don't know yet, mate, because I've never watched the league, so I don't really have any zooming, any leaning to them, I should say. Leicester, they've done it the right way. Agreed, Fo, definitely. And Len, thanks, Darren, for it. And I thank you guys. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's been great as always, as I said. We've got the broadcast tomorrow night from 7:00. Exactly same format, just a little bit later. Guys, I've got one question. James Swift says, any chance you could do live streaming watching through your favorite West Ham game? Would be a good one to watch if possible. That's not do you know what, James? I've had that idea for a while. I'm trying to narrow it down, but it is going to happen. It is going to happen, mate. Not necessarily. It might not. But I'm actually quite tempted to do, because I've got quite a few full games. So I don't know, but it's coming. It's coming. But guys, thank you very much for your time. If you like the video, please give us a like. Please also do subscribe to the channel. I've got a bid for you guys. Right, if we get to 1,600 subscribers, by the end of the month, but I'm not going to get 75 in the space of 2 days. It's not going to happen. But if we get to 1,600 by basically my birthday, so that's 2 weeks, which is basically the 10th of May, which is the FA Cup final day. James, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a watch along for the 1980 FA Cup final on when I turn 40. But guys, yeah, thank you very much for your time. As I say, if we get to 1600 by the 10th of May, then I will do a live mini concert for you guys. If we get to 1600, because I know if you guys like hearing me sing. I know that Marshy does. I know Baz Cox has been jumping on that bandwagon as well, and a few other guys that watch the channel recently have asked me to do songs as well. So we'll do that then, huh? We'll have that. If we get to 1600 subscribers by the 10th of May, I'll do a live concert for you guys. Won't be long, but I will do different songs. I'll do some Oasis. I'll do some. There's a John Lennon song I want to do. Might throw in a couple of Beatles songs. Possibly a couple of Ocean Colour Sing numbers as well. But guys, let us know what you think. But as I say, if we do. Yeah, and Darren saying, yeah, one more, John. All right, guys, thank you very, very much for your time. As I say, if you like the channel and you want to know more, then by all means, please do click the subscribe button. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for the next episode of the live chat. As always, please share this content with anybody that you know may want to watch it. And if you do subscribe, hit the notification bell to get to know when content is going up eventually, because it's not all that brilliant. And of course, guys, for those that are watching the replay, put your comments in the comment section below. Ask me any questions, and I'm more than happy to read them out for tomorrow's broadcast if you can't make it. So, guys, thank you very, very much for your time. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Or, unless you want to watch on Patreon in the next 28 minutes, when I'm discussing West Ham with Wally World from American Hammers. But all the best, guys. Take care.